I created this series when I first started because I wanted to show men that they could absolutely redefine how they look, how they think, and how they perform. And it doesn't have to take years. You can actually do it inside of weeks. So if you look back over the last 10, 12 different videos, weekly videos that I've been producing, is you can see that progression of how you actually can, one, get strong, two, lose weight, and three, maintain muscle mass or even grow muscle mass in a smart, strategic, scientific way. So I hope that's been helpful as I think more about the direction of this channel and what I want to do with it and how I can best serve you. I'm probably going to stop with the results update side of things because I'm looking really good. I'm at basically where I want to be. I'll talk more about the exact results and where that is right now, but I'll probably stop doing all of the continuous updates. If you want to see what that looks like, you can just follow me on Instagram, Hayden Wilson X, and I'll be able to give you frequent updates on what that looks like. But really, the direction of this channel is going to be much more focused on the exact systems that you need to be using to become a self-reliant man. We'll be talking a lot about wealth. We'll be talking a lot about your body and nutrition and training and strength. And we'll also be talking a lot about mindset and development and progression and performance inside of what's going on up here. So my name is Hayden and I'm here to help you become a self-reliant man. This week I actually wanted to touch on the results. This is our last results update. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from week 11 to week 12, and I'm also going to do from week 1 to week 12. All right, so week 11 was body weight 83.6 kilograms. This week, week 12, was 82.7 kilograms, so a 900 kilogram drop in body weight there. We have seen body fat go from 10% on the dot to, and my goal was sub 10, to 9.7. So we were actually able to smash the goal over this 12 week period. The lean mass has gone from 75.2 kilograms to 74.7 kilograms, so a 700 gram drop there. Fat has gone from 8.4 kilograms down to 8 kilograms, which is a 300 gram drop. And then skin folds, just quickly, we've got abs 8.9, pecs 5.8, and quadricep at 9 from 9.3. And then this time around, we've got abs at 8, pecs at 5.8 and quadriceps at 9. So a couple of little drops there along the way, which is a positive sign that we're moving in the right direction, that the actions, the scientific actions that we're taking, the process, the method that we're following is actually producing the result that we're after. So I'm going to take you through a couple of things that I've noticed as I've continued to lose weight. So I'm a lot more clear in the mind. I look better, I feel better, I'm more confident in my body. I can actually, this is crazy, but I can actually stand up and not have to feel like I have to suck my tummy in. And that may be completely foreign to you, but for so many years, since maybe 16, 17 years old, I remember I was at a club and I had this bit of a tight t-shirt on, and I was always a little bit self-conscious of my belly, and my friend came over and he actually pointed and poked me in the guts and said, "Hey, what's going on here?" And I remember feeling really ashamed of what he was actually poking at, because I had this insecurity anyway over looking a bit like a pregnant man and having that belly there. I never liked that look, but I didn't have the tools or the experience or the expertise to be able to change that at that point in time. I didn't know how to do that. And so now I'm 35, that was when I was 17. And so for 18 years, I spent in shame around what that actually looks like and a lot of baggage around my stomach. And I can tell you that losing fat has been one of the best things I've ever done for my own confidence, because now I can honestly just say that I can stand up and just stand there and not have to worry about a bulging belly or not have to worry that I'm looking pregnant. If I try and stick my stomach out, nothing comes out. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but over the last 12 weeks to actually have that, I spent 18 years worried about it, and then over the period of 12 weeks have found a way to be able to remove that insecurity and actually feel confident inside of my body, which to me is just life-changing. So I'm really grateful to myself for actually following the process, to my coach for actually giving me the tools and the insight into how to actually do this, and of course all the support networks my wife has enabled and helped along this journey. to be able to do that, and to you guys as well, because you're watching these videos. It gives me motivation to continue to keep going and some accountability every single week to be able to put these videos up. So it's currently Sunday morning. My son and wife are sleeping in the next room. My daughter is down in her room, and that's why I'm talking a little bit more softly. But I was thinking about it, and I was setting my camera up, and I was like, oh, I really don't want to do this. I'd rather just chill out. It's Sunday morning, and I'm playing these mind tricks on myself, but I want to be held accountable, and I wanted to provide that consistent update. Here we are. Sometimes you just got to do things that you don't want to do. Regardless, you got to throw those feelings out and actually just do the thing. So here we are, mission-driven, purpose-driven, creating the videos, being useful to you, as opposed to what I actually wanted to do, which was just relax. So now that we're at the 12-week mark, what I actually wanted to do was take you back to week 1, and then I'm going to detail what that actually looked like over this sustained period of time, as this will be the last video around results update. So the first check-in was on the 15th of the 11th, 23. So if we think about it, it hasn't even been 3 months. It's been just under 3 months. So today is the 4th of February, 2024. So on the 15th of the 11th, 23, so week 1, my body weight was at 91.6, and now we're at 82.7, so an 8.9 kilo drop. My body fat percentage was at 14.8, and I'm down to 9.7, so that's a 5.1% drop in body fat. My lean mass was 78 kilograms, and now it's at 74.7, so a 3.4 kilo drop in lean body mass. And then my fat kilograms has gone from 13.7 kilograms down to 8 kilograms inside of the body, which is a 5.5% drop. And then lastly, with the skin folds, this is actually pretty crazy. Skin folds, abdomen 16.4, pecs 9.4, quads 14.2, and then now abs 8. So basically over half my ab fat, which is important for guys because that's where they hold the majority of their fat, down to pecs 5.8 and quads 9. So some just life-changing changes that have happened throughout this entire process. Now, has it been hard? Well, I don't know. I don't really see it as hard because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy the process. I enjoy seeing the results. And there was a moment last week where I was thinking, is this really what I want to do? Do I need to continue pursuing this? Should I stop? Have I lost too much? Is this a comfortable level for me? And as a man, the biggest thing that's going to stop you from achieving what you want to achieve is this idea of comfort and slipping back into comfort and contentment versus actually pushing and growing and becoming the next version of yourself. And we don't always want to have it one way or the other, but we do want to be able to mix those in. But there was a moment last week where I was feeling a little bit comfortable, where I was feeling a little bit tired almost, and thinking, well, this is good, like I can just stay here for a bit. I'm really hungry, I want to stop doing this, I want to go and eat something. And then a little mirror check, a little progress check in, and I actually saw a vein that was running up from down near my lower ab area, and it was running right up along my ribs there, and I've never seen that vein before. And I know it sounds really crazy, but that was that little hit of motivation that I actually needed to continue to keep going, to understand, to see the progress on what this actually looks like. When you make any transformation, it's really important to think about the progress that you want to see, feel, touch, hear, anything within your senses. See, when we have sensory input, it provides evidence to our brain that the thing that we're doing is producing the result that we want to see. And so I know this sounds really crazy, but some of the evidence that I have that this process is working is if I take my fingers and I run them across my abs really fast, you can actually hear a noise. So by hearing the noise of my knuckles running over my abs, it is confirmation. I can feel it. I can feel divots there. When I look in the mirror, I can see certain things. So I'm using sight visually to see the results. I'm using touch, what's actually going on there. I can hear because I can hear my fingers running over the divots of my abs. And it sounds really vain, but I wanted to just talk about that because as you continue to progress, you need markers for that consistent progress, and you need to provide yourself maximal evidence that the thing that you're doing is going to work. Because sometimes what happens with progress is you're not going to see progress in the mirror every single day. You might not even see it every week. It took me the first 10 weeks of, yes, we had the data, but realistically to see something in the mirror where I was like, damn, like you're actually looking pretty good now, it took 10 weeks. So the first 1 to 10 weeks, there wasn't that much in terms of dramatic changes. But then off the back of that, once week 11 and week 12, what I'm seeing now in different veins and more vascular and more dry, and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm thinking, wow, like this process has actually worked. But the first 10 weeks, there was a lot of faith in the process and making sure, and that's why I love the data, because you can actually see that progress. But it doesn't change the fact that there wasn't major changes. But now, day to day, week to week, I'm starting to see more of those changes. So there is a little bit of that faith element, but you need to stack the deck in your favor. So you need to be able to find things that will enable you to continue going, and that is evidence that the process is actually working. So you're using your senses as a guide, because that's going to give you maximal evidence to trust yourself that the process is working, because you can hear it, you can see it, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can taste it for yourself, which is the highest form. Rather than listening to someone else and someone else telling you what things should be look like, you've experienced it for yourself, which is the highest form of evidence to actually continue doing something. One thing I wanted to touch on in this video is the actual process of recreating or redefining what you actually look like. When I first started this entire process, I actually had a vision in my mind, which is the most important thing of any sort of transformation. It's about creating the vision of what you actually, or revealing the vision of what you actually want to create inside of your mind first, and then being able to strip away everything that actually isn't what that vision looks like. But after Michelangelo created David, he was asked by someone, how did you actually create David? And then Michelangelo said it was actually quite easy. I had a slab of marble and I just chipped away everything that wasn't David. And you can take the same principle inside of your own life. Once you have a vision of what you want to create inside of your life, you can then just spend the time to chip away everything that's not that. So I had this vision of what I wanted to look like, and I knew that I wanted to have abs and an athletic, sexy looking body. But I wasn't there yet. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, well, that's not where I want to be. I need to start to make some changes. So that's when I got really clear on what that vision looked like. That's when I reached out to a coach. That's when I decided I want a scientific process that knew what it looked like. That's when I also decided to add some accountability and continue and do these types of videos so I could detail that process for myself and for you as well, and really just kickstart that process. But the interesting thing is, as I got closer and as I've actually achieved what that original vision was, really aligning this self-image or this vision I had with myself with what I see in the mirror, and as I've aligned that, it's actually moved towards even further along. And that's a really hard part that I didn't expect, because I didn't know, I don't know, this is uncharted territories. I've never been this lean before, and I'm finding a whole new level of mind games and trickery in terms of that contentment piece, and you know what, you're good, you don't need to go any further, and things are good right now. And so I'm actively having to fight. If you think of like a superhero movie and you've got the hero and the villain is actually, you know what, you're sweet, you're good, you don't have to push any harder, like you're sweet, mate. And then we've got the hero, which is, push harder. This is about seeing what you're capable of. And so these two forces are really fighting inside of you at any point in time. So I'm finding myself really trying to push and harness and feed the hero inside of me, because I do want to achieve bigger and better things, and I do want to explore. So the first part was really a revealing of what I looked like underneath, and what my mind, and aligning what my mind thought that I looked like, and then what I physically manifested. But now, after the revealing, I'm actually in the creation stage, which is very foreign, very new to me. And so finding the next model of what I want to create. And so that's going to take a little bit of patience with myself, a little bit of thought and introspection, and really role modeling and thinking, okay, where can I take this, and what do I want to look like, feel like, perform like, and then reshaping my actions towards creating that. So that's it. That's a way of update into what's actually happening in the direction of this channel and where we're going to move to next. You can follow all the adventures over at Hayden Wilson X on Instagram. Reach out to me, send me a message, tell me what you are working on right now. I would love to hear more about that. So one of my big focuses this year has been on creating long form content. And so these videos are an example of that, but I want to go deeper. I've got this beautiful studio behind me that we've been able to create here in my home. And I want to really think about more and more value that I can actually provide you, no matter where you are in the world, no matter where I am in the world. There'll be a camera in front of me, I'll be able to deliver a message to you. I would love to hear what you would like to learn more about, what problems you're currently experiencing, and what videos you would like to see. So if you would like to drop a comment or send me a message on Instagram or shoot me an email, you can see the details below, and tell me what you're currently experiencing, what you're going through. And lastly, I want to say thank you so much for watching 1 minute of any of these videos. I hope they've been helpful for you as we progress into the next stage of this channel. I'm going to make a playlist so you can go back and just binge on just that part. If you want to follow along on my progress, you can head over to Hayden Wilson X on Instagram and you can see what I'm up to every single day. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.